Just never seen anything like that for the erector set repair. So a new year has begun. The old Deere has settled a little bit. And with that, well, turn around here. Whoa. We got a lot of trade-ins and we got a lot of rental pieces that came out of rentals. I got to process some of that stuff, get it through the shop, get it detailed, get it serviced, get it on the web. I was just walking out here and prioritizing some of the items behind me. And also, I'm looking for a consignment. I love consignments. It's a love-hate. But I took in a consignment stump grinder for a skid steer from Point Roberts before the end of the year, and I don't know where they put it. So I'm looking for it, and I can't find the stump grinder. It came in on an R530, also a consignment. That's a Kubota R530 is a wheel loader, and this stump grinder was used on it. Ooh, I think I just found it. Whew. Through the maze we go. Maybe it was never used. Shaver Manufacturing. But it's mounting on a skid steer. It just looks really awesome. We might have to make sure this works, you know. Can't judge the book by the cover unless you read it. We gotta look and see if this thing works. So yeah, I wanted to find the stump grinder. One, we got to get it on the internet. It's a consignment unit. Two, I wanted to see how it looked because I don't see a lot of them on skid steers. And three, I got some stumps I'd like to take care of, so this might be something I want to buy myself. So yeah, perked my interest, and we had to go find it because if I couldn't find it, it didn't exist. Now that I found it, it exists. So if it works really good, it might not be for sale because I might have to buy it. But if it doesn't work very good, we'll sell it. No, I'm just joking. It could be for sale even if it works really good. Anyways, I said I'll look for that stump grinder, and I found it. This was the consignment wheel loader that stump grinder came with. It's a nice unit. Point Roberts, I might need to explain that better for those of you that don't know where Point Roberts is. It's this island. Brian's gonna have to show a map of it right now on the video, but it's this island that should have been Canada's. It's not really an island. It's a piece of land that comes off of Canada, but the only way to get to it from America is to go through Canada or via water. We should have gave that piece of land to Canada when the line was drawn, and they should have gave us. It just doesn't seem like a great deal. It's really hard to get to for Americans. Not really easy to get to for Canadians either because it's a border crossing. Just really inconvenient. But I have heard some things about Point Roberts. I've heard it's a great place for witness protection because it's guarded really heavily on all sides. So it may have a purpose. I just think of the inconvenience of it for the people that live there that want to buy stuff. You have to bring it through Canada. You have to convince the Canadian border that you're not going to drop this thing in Canada. You're going to go all the way through to Point Roberts and deliver it. And just a lot of hassle. But there are people that live there. It's a good community, good people, and it's part of our territory because it's in America. So if they want Kubotas, we have to service that area, even though they have to drive through Canada to get here. Kind of goofy, but anyways, so when I reference Point Roberts, that's what I mean. Not every day do you get to see some custom stuff, but today we get to see some custom stuff. Now this guy got the use out of this bucket. Sometimes you see some neat stuff. Neat for many reasons, but this piece of tin right there, and that's how this guy fixed this bucket to get by. Interesting enough, the front cutting edge of the bucket actually is almost perfectly intact. Like it's not worn down. So it makes me think that this bucket sat somewhere on the ground maybe and just rotted away. And not from maybe use, but I'm not 100% sure what happened here, but It's a version of a skeleton bucket. But good news, we have one that I think that will fit. Brand new, aged stock. That we're gonna mount on this tractor. The tractor's really straight other than the bucket. Very nice old Kubota. Yeah, but needs a new bucket. So, just never seen anything like that for the erector set repair. So some of you may know, I spent some years working at a John Deere dealership in Eastern Washington. After I graduated college, my dad told me it was a good idea to go work somewhere else, and I chose one of the largest John Deere dealerships in the world at the time. I thought it'd be good education, good experience. And I worked there for about 5 years, and along the way I met a lot of people, worked with a lot of great people, and learned a lot. And one of those people I learned a lot from was Mike Meads. And recently, I just found out yesterday he passed away unexpectedly, and it took. He meant a lot to me because not only were we good friends when I worked there, he also taught me a lot. He was an expert in the industry, someone I really looked up to when I worked there, because he did things that I didn't think were possible in the sales world, like, you know, selling 50 tractors to one guy, stuff like that. Like, he did stuff like you're like, what? Your eyes opened up. And Mike made it seem pretty normal. And he was always willing to teach people, and he always wanted people to learn from what he was doing. And he was a very good guy, very good friend. And one thing I still don't believe. I heard the news yesterday. I still don't believe it. But I just wanted to share a story about Mike that was one of my favorite stories. And I think you might enjoy it as well. So that's what I'm going to do. So I have a picture in my office. It's been there for quite some time, and it's not a normal picture in my office. It's a picture of an old wheat truck, and it looks like a tractor. And I kind of have it on the wall where no one can see it because it's a John Deere, and I don't do John Deere anymore. But I have it in there because it is a great memory, and it's something I'll never forget. And that memory wouldn't have been possible without Mike Meads. He was avid in the tractor business, avid collector, kind of an enthusiast in tractors on top of that. And he always wanted to be somehow involved in the Lynn Combine Derby. And he knew I was kind of crazy with my past experience with demolition derbies, and I talked about it, and he knew I was crazy enough to probably help him complete this. So Mike went and bought an old wheat truck and was like, hey, you're driving that wheat truck in the Lynn Combine Derby. We'll put RDO stickers on it. Like, it was RDO. That was a dealership I worked for, and Mike worked for. And I was like, you didn't have to talk me into it. I was crazy enough to just be like, yeah, let's drive a wheat truck in a race in a combine derby. Yeah. You didn't have to talk me into it. And needless to say, Mike went out of his way and bought this truck. I believe he went and got it from Portland. Special trip to go get it. Mike, when he's set to do stuff, he did it. Anyways, he bought this truck. It just ran it. We took it the way it was, pretty much. Slapped a sticker on it. It was blue with the first round. And needless to say, we got there a little late to the show. I didn't go to the driver's meeting, so I didn't necessarily know what was going on, other than there was about 6 wheat trucks, and we needed to go and race. And I saw him drive in. I pull up, and I was the last one in the ring, so to speak. And this guy in a pink suit he's in the ring with the flags. And I've never been to the Lynn Combine Derby before. That was my first time. I probably should have went and watched maybe once, so I knew what was going on. But I didn't. I should have went to the driver's meeting, but I didn't. We were running a little late. Needless to say, I pull up into the ring, and the guy drops the flag, kind of. And I'm in the back, and the trucks start moving. And I was like, put it in second gear, and I bam, hit the truck in front of me. And if you know wheat trucks, the back of the wheat truck you hit is a lot higher than your hood. And so it just destroyed the front of this truck. And I pushed that truck out of the way. I kept going. I passed 3 more trucks. I was kind of in first place after the first lap. And I'm getting a black flag by the pink suit guy. And I stop. I'm like, oh no, what did I do? And he's like, that was a warm-up lap. And I was like, oh no, a warm-up lap. I felt really stupid, and needless to say, I kind of was like, wow, the truck's kind of destroyed. The hood was all mashed in, and the smoke was billowing out of the hood because of the steam from the radiator blew. And I'm good. They're like, guys, you're kicked out of here. Kicked me out. And I'm driving out of the ring, and the fans start booing the guy in the pink suit because they wanted to see me go because it was kind of entertaining, I imagine. Me just wrecking all these wheat trucks within the first lap. So the guy stops me. He's like, you can go back in the ring. And anyways, I tried to do some more, but the truck ended up getting overheated, and we couldn't go very much longer because it was overheating. And I get back to the pit area, and I'm like, I don't know what Mike's gonna think. I kind of just wrecked his truck he just bought. And needless to say, Mike comes up to me and he's like, that was awesome. And I'm like, yeah, I just got approval, so sweet. So you're not mad I just destroyed the truck? And he's like, oh man. And then he said something. He's like, man, we could fix this up and bring it next year. And I'm like, yeah, I think we can. Fast forward about 8 months after that, the RDO Dairy had an accident where the cab ripped off of a new 8R series tractor, and it was sitting behind the dealership in Hermiston. And I'm thinking to myself, I think we could use that hood because the tractor was totaled. So I asked permission if we could use the hood, and I got a green light. I forget who gave me the green light to do it, but we took the hood off the 8 series tractor, and I formed this bracing on the wheat truck. So if I did hit one from behind again, it wouldn't bend, but we made it look like a tractor, needless to say, as you can see in the pictures. I don't have a lot of pictures of that truck other than one that's in my office. And we took it to the Lynn Combine Derby the second year, and I think a lot of people in the wheat truck race were not happy to see us because we weren't definitely traditional racers of the Lynn Combine Derby. And but we went in there with pride. We had a 0% for 5-year banner hanging on it for selling used combines. We was decked out in RDO gear, and when I was riding with Mike to that I rode with him there. We hauled it on a gooseneck trailer. When we pulled into town, I could sense this sense of pride that we made that. Like, it was Marty, Mike, Chris Popkin helped. But yeah, it was a proud moment because we did our own thing, and needless to say, I think we won that year, and I flipped a couple trucks over. Wasn't super popular among the locals, but the fans loved it, and needless to say, Mike loved it, and that was just a memory I had. But it wouldn't have been possible. Mike made that happen. He went out of his way to go buy that truck, and then said, I'm not driving the truck. Mike didn't want to drive it. If you know Mike, that doesn't surprise you at all. But he wanted to watch it be driven, and I was crazy enough to do it. And I'm proud. I'm thankful enough I was there at the right place, the right time to do that. And I just can't believe he's gone. But I just want to share that memory, and it's kind of a funny story. But without Mike Means, that memory would have never took place. Just driving back from lunch, minding my own business, and you see a 990 show up. Just a nice scene. Brand new. Right off the floor of the factory. Nice. I don't catch that very often, so when I do, I gotta take a video. So I just got that paper across my desk showing me that there's an RTV-X, the new X is in. And I did miss the, what do you call it? Dealer meeting, where they displayed that and was able to drive it, and I missed that. So I haven't actually driven it yet. This will be my first time. And holy cow, we got cool stuff here. Hold on, we gotta pause for station identification. That's a pulling tractor. Does it run?
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet. I like the wood cab.
Okay, yeah.
The wooden cab looks, it's a nice touch.
That's my own design.
Oh, very aerodynamic.
I worked on a CAD program for, I bet you 3 or 4 weeks.
You building a better wood hood?
Yeah, the wood hood.
The wood hood?
Yeah, it's going to the Amish.
The Amish, okay.
Yeah.
So you gotta take the engine out then.
No, just no windows in the cab.
Oh, no windows.
Yeah. Probably gonna put steel tires on it too.
Steel tires, yeah. Yeah, get the aluminums out of there.
I come from that area, and it is so funny that every little church and the deacons are different. And some you have to take the cab off, others you have to take the glass out. That's it. And so my son, I deliver stuff down here to the Amish all over Tennessee, Missouri, and they're all related back and forth up into Canada.
Yeah.
And I said to this guy, "You got some of your last name up in Chester, Ontario." "Yeah, it's my uncle." Now, talking to my son, he says, "Well, those guys that built my barn, they went back to Michigan. They stayed in the same group." They call them groups. They stayed in the same group, but they're allowed to have running water in Michigan at that church, but they're not allowed to have running water in Chester, Ontario, so they got to ship and tail.
Well, now we got all the Amish pulling tractor politics out of the way. Let's go look at the RTV-X. There she is. Got some new tires on it. Just from the looks of it, you can see the old X series next to it. That one. The new X series. Slight differences. I can see the bubbly, kind of a little more bubbly hood, different lights, different tires, and supposedly the guts of it are different. And it kind of looks like I'm gonna get a wet butt. I should have thought of that. It did rain here last night. We're gonna flip the seat forward. Flips like the old one. Doesn't stay flipped very good. There we go. Dry it out for a second. Well, we do a walk around. I think the bed is unchanged on this model. On this one. Comes with a Mountain Dew. Different tires. These are the AP Armstrong. So yeah, the old tires, I'm still learning here myself, but yeah, a little different tire package. Definitely different styling on the hood, LEDs, probably the same bumper. The more important thing is the guts, how this thing handles the engine, transmission. I've been told it shifts really good, so we're gonna find that out. And it's got the same dash in it as the old ones. Yeah, glow plug it for a second. Everything else looks pretty similar. Different brake lever, that's for sure. I've been told the forward reverse high-low shifts way nicer. The old one was a little stiff and could present some problems. Oh yeah, this thing just glides like butter right now, like it should. You know, the old ones you could get up here and it could get kind of stuck, and you'd have to press the brake and then depress. But this one, I'm doing this without pressing the brake. That feels really nice. Park brake, that looks pretty nice. Four-wheel drive, yeah. So far, so good. It does have four-wheel drive on. We'll turn that off. There we go. Someone may correct me, but I feel like this thing's a little quieter too. Just driving it right now. Feels a lot like the previous model. But with a one side note, I think it is quieter. There's less vibration. I'm not saying the old one had a lot of vibration, but that's just something I noticed. Yeah. So far, so good. It could use a windshield. It's cold today, and I'm not gonna go too fast because I'll get really cold if I go fast without the windshield. But it's a nice machine. I'm probably gonna go park it up front, and actually I have my bike over there, so I'm probably not gonna park it up front. Nice load there. One thing I do want to test, even though it doesn't have a windshield, the old model, the acceleration was a little slow. This one, let's see. I'm gonna goose it. It's supposed to go 22 miles an hour. Sometimes the old one took a while to get there. Whoa, boy. Ah! No, it got there pretty good. We're already there, and we're across the bridge. But I got a new mount, but it is still a room for improvement on the mount for the camera. And shifting into reverse after that was very seamless. Shifting into forward, very seamless, like it should be. So that's good. Yeah, so I would say the biggest improvement I've noticed is it's quiet. The shifting's nice, and the acceleration's definitely improved. Power, it's nice. It feels like it rides a little better, probably a little different suspension. But yeah, we'll park it, wait for the guys to set it up because it's low on fuel. They never ship them with a lot of fuel. But yeah, shifting is very nice. Make sure I don't hit anything. Take the bike. There it is. Good, no one stole my bike. So overall, like I said, I think the shifting is one of the biggest improvements. Styling, it looks a little different. That's a nice improvement. Handling, I think it handles pretty nice. Suspension feels a little smoother, less vibrations, it's quieter. They improved it where they needed to improve it. Didn't change too much to maybe say mess up a good model. The diesel RTV has been a hard one to get all year because of its popularity, its reliability. It's very consistent. People know what to expect. It's durable. I could keep going on and on. But this is a good improvement to what we already had. And even though that one, we'd still sell it for years because it was that good. Anyways, this is the RTV-X. Unfortunately, it is sold. For any of you people getting hopeful that you might be able to snag this one, it is sold. We do have a little bit of a waiting list because Kubota did cancel the RTV-900 and the 1120 orders a couple months ago, so we converted all those orders into the new X series. So we've got a little bit of a waiting list like probably everyone else does in the country. So this is the first one we've gotten. I just wanted to take a sneak peek because I didn't get to drive it at the dealer meeting, but I had a conflict, couldn't make it to that dealer meeting. But anyways, thumbs up. Looking for some stuff, and I came across this thing. It's a 5210 John Deere, and it has a designation of a collar shift on it. We just took this on a trade from the city. And I'm trying to figure out what a collar shift is. You'd think a collar shift would be here, like on a collar of the steering column. But there ain't no collar shift there. You got an A, B, C. I'm not familiar with this model myself. Neither was the guy who probably made the sticker to say collar shift. You got forward and reverse right here. I'm kind of puzzled by this one. It doesn't seem to have a collar shift, but it is a turf special. Anyways, it's in. We got to get it processed. Didn't get it on the web as well. Put it on my list, but thought I'd point that out. Someone might know what they mean by collar shift other than what people would probably think a collar shift would be, a shifter here. I have no clue what collar shift is. Is this the last piece to the puzzle? Finally?
Your dad and I talked about adding 3 feet onto it. So maybe.
Hold on, you're gonna add 3 feet?
Yep.
Oh boy. Oh boy. But you got the electric powered dingus, right?
Yep.
Certified.
That's a powered trolley.
Oh, it's a powered trolley. And a powered crane.
Powered crane.
Okay.
It will be sweet.
Cool. We'll be in business.
Yep.
Very nice.